John Wick didn't ask for chaos. He didn't chase vengeance. Vengeance chased him. But what most don't understand is this. John Wick was already fighting a war long before anyone killed his dog. That war wasn't outside. It was inside. Against doubt. Against the past. Against the pull of a life he buried but that still lived deep within his subconscious. Every night he slept, he didn't dream of peace. He visualized clarity. He didn't see the world as it is. He saw it as it could be. If only he could take back control. And that is where his real power came from. Not the bullets, not the rage, but the picture he painted in his mind before stepping into the storm. Dr. Joe Dispenza once said, "My salute to the winners, because one day everyone will win." But winning starts where the world never looks, within. Joe was an ordinary young man in California, a chiropractor, a martial artist, a seeker. But his real story began when a brutal accident snapped his spine like a matchstick. 15 feet in the air, then bam, the ground taught him pain. Doctors said he'd never walk again. They said surgery was the only way. But Joe said no, because Joe knew something. Something Wick knew too. There is an intelligence within the body, a force beyond flesh and bone. And it doesn't respond to fear, it answers only to clarity. That clarity comes from only one place, the subconscious mind. A force most people ignore their whole lives. Lying face down on a hospital bed, paralyzed and broken, Joe closed his eyes and started building. Not with bricks, but with vision. He imagined over and over a new spine, healthy, whole, built with his own invisible hands. Like John Wick building his own redemption, one kill at a time, Joe constructed a reality inside his head. And it wasn't easy. The demons came. Doubt whispered, "What if you never walk again? What if your clinic dies? What if everything ends here?" But Joe didn't quit. He fought his mind like John Wick fought the world. Relentless, methodical, precise. 6 weeks of war, against thought, against fear. But something shifted. The fear faded. Focus grew. And then the miracle began. By the 10th week, he stood. By the 12th, he walked into his office. By the 13th, his pain was gone. Forever. Why? Because he reprogrammed the software that runs your life, the subconscious mind. Joe's journey isn't fiction, and neither is yours. Here's what both Joe and Wick teach us. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. John Wick didn't say a lot, but his actions screamed, "I believe I can win," even when the world hunted him, even when the odds were insane. He moved like a man who had already won inside. And Joe? Joe discovered 4 steps, 4 truths, to reprogram the subconscious. Step 1. Connect with higher intelligence. You must believe, genuinely, that there's a force within you greater than your thoughts, your fears, or your memories. John Wick wasn't running on revenge. He was running on conviction. He'd lost his wife, his peace, but he hadn't lost himself. You are more than your story, more than your pain. There's a still voice inside that already knows the path. Call it God, call it universe, call it subconscious mind, but listen to it. Step 2. Own your attention. Whatever you focus on grows. Wick never focused on the pain, only the next step, the next breath, the next move. Joe found this truth in agony. The moment he controlled his focus, his body began to obey. Your mind is a wild horse. It runs where you let it. Most people, they let it run toward fear, toward doubt, toward distraction. But champions aim it like a sniper rifle, locked on the image of success. Step 3. Create emotional experience before it's real. Here's the secret. Your brain cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. If the emotion is real, that's the magic. Wick felt victory long before he achieved it. Joe felt healing before his nerves repaired. You must feel grateful for success before it comes. You must feel peace before the chaos ends. This is how new neural circuits form. This is how your body changes, your habits change, and your life rewires. Step 4. Let go of the past and trust the process. When you try to become someone new, Your old self screams. It says, remember your failures, your pain, your trauma. But that's just the dying echo of who you were, not who you are becoming. Wick didn't run back to who he was. He forged forward, cold, calculated, with no excuses. And Joe? He kept breathing, visualizing, rewriting, until the past became irrelevant. Step 4. Let go of the past and trust the process. When you try to become someone new, your old self screams. It says, remember your failures, your pain, your trauma. But that's just the dying echo of who you were, not who you are becoming. Wick didn't run back to who he was. He forged forward, cold, calculated, with no excuses. And Joe? He kept breathing, visualizing, rewriting, until the past became irrelevant. Every day, your body listens to your thoughts like commands. Your cells eavesdrop on your emotions. If you constantly say, I can't, I won't, I'm scared, then your body obeys. You become weak, hesitant, stuck. But if you visualize strength, if you feel determination in your chest, your subconscious gets the signal. It's time to move. This isn't motivational fluff. This is neuroscience. It's how elite soldiers train before war, how Olympians visualize before the race, how Wick reloaded his gun in the dark, trusting his muscle memory, how Joe Dispenza rewired his body with 0 surgeries, only mind. Want to let success chase you? Then stop chasing it. Be like Wick. Be like Joe. Create a new identity, a new picture. Then let the world adjust. People ask, how do I begin? Start here. Close your eyes. Imagine the life you want. Now feel the emotions of already living it. Hold it. Breathe it. Trust it. Repeat this every day. Even when it feels like fiction. Even when nothing changes. Because something is changing. Inside. And when that change takes root, when your subconscious aligns with your purpose, the world will shift. Circumstances will change. People will appear. Opportunities will chase you. You don't need to scream. You don't need to beg. Just walk like Wick. Calm, silent, focused. Because now, success is following you. And you? You're just getting started.